Hi, in this video, we're going to have a look at a few more examples to follow on from some of the examples we covered in class. These are very similar to the sorts of problems that are in the textbook. So example 2 sets up some trig values already. So remember, these are not angles, these values here. These are the result from applying theta to the function sine, cosine, or tan. So we have the sine of theta is equal to 0.42. We have the cosine of x equaling 0.7, and the tan of this funny symbol here means alpha. So the tan of the angle alpha is equal to 0.38. Now, for all intents and purposes, because all of these three values are positive, we can take it that these are equivalent to saying that the sine, I'll put it therefore there, that the sine of theta hat, the reference angle, the base angle, is 0.42. The cosine of x hat is equal to 0.7, and the tan of alpha hat is equal to 0.38. Generally speaking, whatever values you're given, the hat, the reference angle, the base angle will be these values as well, but without plus or minus in front of them. Okay, so having identified the base angles, we can now go and solve problems. So we're asked here, what is the sine of pi plus theta? Well, we'll do our usual step, and we can again assume that theta and the x and alpha, we can treat them as if they were first quadrant angles, i.e. they're like the reference angle. So with that in mind, we can basically go sine of pi plus theta will behave like this. We've got our cast axes. In radians, it will be 0, pi on 2, pi, and 3 pi on 2 as our angles, i.e. 0 here, up to 90 here, pi on 2, up to 180 here, pi, 270, 3 pi on 2, and then back to 2 pi for 360 degrees. So if I've been given sine of pi plus theta, we can effectively treat this like an angle that's going to land in this region here. So we've got all the way around here. And so I can put theta hat in here, which remember has the same value as the sine of theta. And so I can finish off by saying that sine of pi plus theta is the same as sine of theta hat, which is negative in quadrant 3. So I'll put my negative there, which means that we've got negative, what was it, 0.42. So again, it's the same value, but with a plus or minus added to it, in this case a minus, so it's negative 0.42. Okay, I'll go through the others a bit faster. This is cos of pi minus x, so my quadrant diagram, or my cast diagram here, would put x hat in this quadrant, like so. Pi minus x would make x hat there. So now that we've got our quadrant, we can say that's the same as cos of x hat. And in this quadrant, cos is negative, so that's negative as well. And then I can finally say that therefore cos of pi minus x is negative 0.7. Tan of 2 pi minus alpha. Well, again, cast diagram. 2 pi is all the way around back to here again. And so 2 pi minus alpha will go back into this quadrant with alpha hat being in that little spot there. So we can say that tan 2 pi minus alpha is the same as the tan of alpha hat. And alpha, the tan is negative in that fourth quadrant, so we can put a negative in front of it. And because tan of alpha is 0.38, then the tan of 2 pi minus alpha must therefore be negative 0.38. And there's a few examples. I just can't remember whether I have any more or not. No, I don't. So that's it. 3 different examples and plenty for you to practice in your textbook if you look at your learning schedule.